What's up, fellow journeyers? It is great to be back in Tennessee. Man, love Tennessee. Beautiful. Can't beat the colors, the variety, the distinct four seasons. Back with family, back in the driveway again. So we've always sort of had Tennessee as our home base. Coming back here after what we would call routes between 2 months and Alaska was 6 months. That was a long time to be away from Tennessee. Our whole family's here. They're all like within 15 miles of each other pretty much. So we know Tennessee's a big part of our lives. One thing we've kind of agreed on is that we just really want a space that's like ours. I mean, yeah, the Airstream's ours, it's our space. But I mean, even today, we're leaving, we're in our sister's driveway. We don't overstay our welcome here, so we're leaving this driveway here. We're making our way to where we had to wait about a week for a spot to open up, which is the RV park in Cookeville. So we're gonna be staying there, just moving around, bouncing around, changing spots. We've done it almost 4 years, and we wanna keep doing it, but it'd be really cool to have sort of like one space, be like at least our space where we park our Airstream. Just somewhere we know what the hookups are like, what the mail's like, what the trash is like, just all that stuff from one space, at least part of the year. Would be nice to have. We don't know. We don't know exactly what the next stage is with the baby and with being in Tennessee more often while we're having the baby. But we know we want to be small. But we do know driveway surfing here is not a good long-term solution. So we're looking for the next spot. So not exactly the ideal spot, but we're glad to just be in this park. We're glad to be in the city because we're closer to a lot of stuff we want to be at. We're glad to sort of have our own spot. But the main road's right here, so I mean, we're pretty close to the road. We're kind of right at the entrance of the RV park, so we're hoping something else will open up and we can move closer down in this direction when we get off the road a little bit at some point, but we'll just have to see. But yeah, just like the driveway we were surfing at earlier, this doesn't quite feel like a good, like, when we come back to Tennessee, this will be our spot solution. So just a lot of I don't knows. Well, a lot of I don't knows, but then also some I know that this isn't working type stuff. So it's a week later. There's a few less leaves on the trees. We had a cold spell. We're back where we started. I mean, the RV is not physically back where we started. It's still in Cookeville. So we went through several options. We thought, well, maybe we could buy like an old house or something like that maybe we would fix up and use one day. And then in the meantime, we would just build off the utilities on that house, or maybe rent the house out and then fix out, a spot next to the house. Just haven't had much luck finding that kind of thing, and I've been looking for a while. With RV parks, the problem was, number one, there may or may not be room for us. Number two, we don't have control over the pricing. We don't have control over whether, not that we have total control over utilities and stuff like that or not anyways, but we don't have total control over that stuff. If we wanted somebody to come in and stay with us, we met a lot of people on the road. We want a spot for them to stay. There also has to be a spot for them. We feel like we want more privacy if we're like, in an area for a long amount of time than we want like in an RV park. And then fourthly, what if we want to like add on our own stuff? Maybe we want to like build a sand pit for Hensley, or build a deck, or just, do a zip line or something. I had one of those when I was growing up. That kind of stuff in an RV park is probably not gonna fly. So we get way more flexibility if we can do something like that on our own. And then the third option, option C, the one that we're gonna go with, is that we wanna get our own piece of land, fix it the way we want, the entrance way we want, have the extra spot the way we want. If we wanna add on things, we can do that. I'm gonna say it's sort of like an option D, because we looked at buying our own land and then putting an RV spot there. But then Marissa's mom had always dreamed of having her own like little cabin. If you guys have seen her mom, she went to Grand Canyon with us, been other places with it, love her mom. Donna, I have got the ledge for you. Right over here. Donna says she's heading that way.
What do you think of the Grand Canyon?
I think it's pretty awesome.
This used to be her house. She sold it to one of her daughters, Miranda, which you guys have seen Miranda too. She came to Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta in whatever that was, 16? Miranda, what stood out to you as far as boondocking here or being in an RV?
It really wasn't as bad as what I expected. You know, I have been taking showers.
You think we didn't take showers?
Yeah, I thought that's
And so since her mom sold this house, but she still owns an acre of woods behind the house, she'd always dreamed of having her own little cabin back behind this house, just a small little cabin to live in. So we thought, you know what, let's do both. So we're working with her mom. We're gonna do a 50-50 split on setting everything up as far as the expenses. Her mom's gonna get to have a cabin in the back. We're gonna have a spot for us, and we're gonna have an extra spot for people that come in. And we've technically maybe got room for a 4th spot if we wanted to later on. Because what we didn't realize is that setting things up for an RV has been just as much, if not more, than what it would be to set up for a house. But we're pretty much putting everything in that we put in with a house. I mean, we're looking into the septic, the water is gonna be ran out there, the electric's gonna be ran out there. And with the electric, I'd always heard, oh, you know, if you're putting something out there, you know, they're gonna run it for free. Well, if it's an RV, they're not. So it's gonna be like almost $4,000 to run it from the road. Actually, they're running it from the road over here, but run it from the road back to the woods, which is like 350, 400 feet back there. So we're gonna have like $4 grand into the electric. We're gonna have $2 to $4 grand into the water. Figure out what we're gonna do on septic. We've got to pay for gravel. I don't know if you've ever laid gravel. Gravel is not cheap. So we've had 1 truckload of gravel come in. Let me show you this truckload. I mean, I don't know how many tons this is, but came in here, laid this, all that there. It's 350 bucks. We're gonna have thousands into gravel getting a driveway back there, and we're gonna have to have gravel in the woods. I mean, we can't be pulling our RVs in the mud. We've got a dozer back here starting to do dozer work. I mean, all these things are pretty much things we'd be doing with a house. I think when you ask the question, what is my home, or where do I want to park my home, or do I have a house, or do I have an RV, or where do I leave my RV? I don't think there's like a perfect answer for that. I think if you want to picture like a scale, you just got to ask yourself the right questions and say, where is that scale tipping? And for us right now, that scale is still tipping toward an RV. I don't want the upkeep, the overhead, the fixed expenses. The scale is not tipping toward a house for us right now. We like our Airstream, we like the size of that, and even if the Airstream didn't work, I think we'd probably look into a bigger RV. I don't know, that scale could tip at any point. It might tip at any point for you. For a lot of you, maybe you're thinking, okay, no, that scale, I'm like sick of my house, it's tipping toward an RV. And then there's some people that get an RV and they're like, okay, no, it's tipping back toward a house. That's not to say either is the perfect solution, and that's why it's a scale. Like, there are things we love about a house, but there's things we love about an RV. And right now, we love the idea of taking the money and putting it into a really nice outdoor space more than taking that money and putting it into a house. And then we want to be outdoors more. We want Hensley to be outdoors more. And we want to create a space where we're like invited to the outdoors, rather than a space where we are invited to stay inside and then not be outside doing things as much. So that I think all that right now is where we're at. And that's where we're coming to this decision to do this work and to do all this setting up and do all this coordinating just to be able to have somewhere to park our RV in Tennessee. So this is it. This is our space in the woods. The tentative plan is to have a drive, come along these big trees, circle around over here, all the way over here, and then it's gonna kind of, if you see the ones that are marked in orange over there, it's going to go along that back line over there, and then either on its way out or it's gonna be a loop. So that's a lot of gravel. But really trying hard to not have grass, to not have high maintenance, to not have things we have to worry about if we're gone 3 months, 6 months. What's it gonna look like when we get back? We don't wanna clear out all this in the middle. If we can help it, we're gonna clear out some of this and have an open area with a fire pit. And then, you know, we got the flexibility to add what we want with Hensley, you know, or whatever, hammock, zip line, playground thing. I don't know. I don't know what we'll put out here, but we have that option to do that at least. But I don't know, this is cool. I mean, I grew up on a farm. I grew up around the woods. I grew up being outdoors a lot. So this feels good. It feels good. It may not feel good once I see the bill for what it's gonna cost. Be like, that's just to have hookups in the woods. Yeah, it's gonna add up. This is cool. Hey girl, what you doing?
Making you a picture.
You making me a picture?
Yes.
Which one is me?
That's you.
That one's me?
Yeah, it's happy face. Happy face.
Oh, hey hottie.
We've had a rough day.
Oh, you look so cute. It's for me?
Yeah.
Is that Mickey Mouse?
Yeah.
And that's...
Mickey too. That's Mickey too.
That's what?
Mickey too.
Mickey too?
Yeah.
Okay. So getting the boss back here, letting her look at it for the first time. The boss lady. A little more cleared out, huh?
I like it. I was worried it would be too open, but I love that you all kept it kind of hidden and then it opens up. So good
We're
job.
trying, and we were initially thinking we might have to do 2 entrances, one here and one over there. We're trying to keep it to one, because if you can imagine we had a whole other entrance over here, it's gonna feel way more open in here.
Do you like it?
I like it.
We're gonna be neighbors, Mom.
Right here will be a spot, full hookups. Spot up there, full hookups. This will probably be the guest spot right here is what I was thinking. Look good? What do you think? It's too late now.
Yeah. No, I really like it. This is what I envisioned, so I'm really excited. I used to play in these woods as a kid, and I don't know, it's really cool that now we get to use it as a home base, and now Hensley can play out here, and that's just what I envision, is just having our own space. And I'm excited we get to share it with family, because we're away from family so much during the year. I love that we get to spend so much time with them when we're in town. Just picture like having coffee on the porch with my mom out here or something, so it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a lot of gravel back here, because all this could potentially be mud when it starts raining. It's crazy to, like, I don't know, you feel like you've come far by doing this, but we're just getting started. So that's exciting. This is a new step for us. New journey, new part of our journey, I guess, but it's always adjusting, always learning. And we'll see what we learn from this.
When we come back in our hometown, it's always just kind of chaotic trying to find somewhere.
Yeah.
The campground's always full, and you know, we don't want to impose on family and friends too much. So I like that we'll be able to kind of have our own space.
That's nice back here though.
You did a good job.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I was a little worried.
I grew up playing in those woods. I hope that they're special for Hensley and for the new baby, that those woods can be special to them as well. And they weren't being utilized, so I love that we're able to like make a space out there and make it come alive.
Yeah, I think when it comes to what's home for you, there's not really a right or wrong way to do it. Just make sure whatever's most important to you is getting elevated. And for us right now, family's important, being outside's important, being close to relatives, but not like literally in their driveway. So it's the good thing with what we're doing. We don't feel like we're putting so much money and so much energy into it. It'll be some work, but it won't be like, you know, super permanent work where we can make a change down the road. We like the flexibility. It's nice to have and nice to do. And
but it's good for my mom too, because my mom, she wanted to downsize, so she sold her bigger house and wants to live in something smaller.
Kind of helping her fulfill her dream too. She always wanted a cabin back there in those woods.
She did. I remember her saying that my whole life, that she always wanted to live back there. So
yeah,
it's just a new chapter.
And you may have noticed as well, I've had this on, at least maybe the top of it you saw today. So we've got new logos, new shirts. This is sort of our vintage logo that we're going for here.
Yeah, I love these. This hoodie is super soft.
It's, yeah.
I'm gonna steal it.
Yeah.
I can't fit in much more of my
She's wearing all my stuff.
my
I don't
things
have much
anymore,
stuff
so
anyways.
I'm about to take over Nathan's like one outfit. So I've been dying to get Hensley a Less Junk More Journey shirt. Show him your princess tee. Yeah. Yeah,
So-
it's so cute on you.
So if you got a little girl, we'll have that shirt there as well. So that's kind of the 3 new things with this logo that we're rolling out. So if you want to check out these shirts, we've got some other shirts. Just go to lessdrunkmorejourney.com/merch, MERCH. Well, that's our journey, and that's how we're making home for us and how that's changing. And we'll catch you guys later.